Well, man, I was hoping I would explain it well enough to actually help you. Uh, I'd hate for you to be more confused than you were before you asked the question. I'm your teacher from now on. Awesome. I'll do my best, man. I'll do my best. I hope I don't let you down. It's a lot of pressure. I'm kidding. It's not really any pressure at all. If I can spread the knowledge that I've learned from other people too, I'll be glad to do it. Now if I can just get my XSplit to quit dropping frames. I'm so afraid it's going to cut the stream off. Yeah, yeah, definitely. The more practice, the better you get at anything, to be honest. Now, our girl is a warrior. She's been through some battles, so she's got some scars. Our girl's not flawless. So we're indicating to the colorist where I want these scars to go. She's been hit with a sword a time or two in her training. But she's still young. This is her when she's still younger. That's right. Shading does make a difference. Like I said, she's younger here. She's not as old. She's not old in the comic. This is her as a teenager. Um, in the story, she's actually, this is her thinking back. She's having a flashback, and so she's remembering back to when she was, you know, early teens. Now she's like 23 or 24. So she don't have as many scars. That's the other thing. Like when you're storytelling, you got to think about this. She has a few battle scars, but nothing like she has at 23 and 24. Because this is her in training. After she gets out of her training and she goes out into the world to try to save the world, she gets into a whole lot of battles. So by the time she's 23 and 24 years old, she's got a lot of scars. So the next scene after this is showing her at 24 years old, and she's standing up, she's getting ready to stand up, and you see her from the back, and you're going to see that she's got a whole lot more scars. Not ridiculous amount, but she's going to have a lot more scars than she does now. So you could tell that she's been through a lot of battles. In this, I just want to show that she's been through a few battles. I don't want to go too crazy with it. It's all part of the storytelling. She has less scars when she's younger, more scars when she's older, and it shows progression. So it shows that time has passed. Plus, when you see her in the modern, like not modern time, but the current time for her story, her hair's a lot longer too. So you can tell that time's passed because of the length of her hair. I'll have to make sure he understands that's a scar, not a strand of her hair. I may move it just because it looks like it's part of her hair. So I'm going to move it to this side. There we go. Now it doesn't look like part of her hair. That's right. And I believe, without overdoing it, we may be done with that particular panel. So I'm going to start working on this one up here, because the one under it's not going to take very long. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and just, because she's pretty much just naked right here. Oops, nudity. Hope you don't get offended easily. Well, it's not really nudity, it's just a back shot. If you get offended by that, oh my goodness, you're going to get offended easily. Anybody that gets offended over that, not saying you psycho, just saying in general, anybody that would get offended by a cartoon drawing of somebody's behind, they got some serious problems they need to get worked out. That's what I say. Crazy world we live in, though. People get offended by the craziest things. And I say it's usually because they ain't got nothing else better to do. So yeah, you'll get a kick out of this story. I'm going to share it with you just so we can pass some time. So somebody decided that they wanted to be cute, and they took some artwork that didn't belong to them, my artwork. They took it off on my Facebook page, right? And they decided, without even asking me permission to use my artwork in their little advertising campaign, that they were going to use my artwork as a way to say that it was demeaning to women, that I was part of the problem, that artists like me gave women a bad name, right? So they took my artwork and posted it on their little ad thing, saying, you know, this is why women get abused. Man, you probably should have sold it to him. But yeah, so they decided they was going to use my artwork and say, this is the reason why women get abused. And the funny thing is, Psycho, they took the artwork from one of my comics that I co-created, the Dead Reckoning book. And the Dead Reckoning book is about a female bounty hunter, not a male bounty hunter, a female bounty hunter that goes around killing criminals and bringing them back to justice because she was mistreated as a woman by a man. So she's basically trying to kind of get revenge. And so she goes around in the universe, because it's a science fiction western. She travels around in the universe trying to, you know, she takes these bounties, trying to find the man that tortured her and beat her and raped her and left her for dead and all this other stuff. So I just thought it was funny that this company took my artwork to say this is why women are abused, when the character is the one going around doing all the abuse. She was the one doing all the killing and all the, you know, committing all the acts of violence because she had been done wrong. She had been tortured and raped and all these other things. It was just horrible that was done to her. And she was, you know, seeking justice in her own way. And I just thought that was so funny that they took my character, or the artwork from one of the characters I helped create, and say that she was a victim when she was the one doing all the victimizing. which tells you that they didn't bother to even research the material, which I think is pretty stupid. So just goes to show you, those advertising campaigns, those for things like that, just goes to show you they don't know what they're doing. Alright, that just looks horrible. I need to move. Oh, come on. Don't act crazy now. But anyways, I know it wasn't a very exciting story, but I just thought it was kind of funny that they used my artwork to try to run an advertising campaign for abused women, when the woman that they picked, the artwork they picked, was by a character that was doing all the abusing. She wasn't being abused, she was doing it. She was the one out there inflicting all the pain. Just the irony of it, I guess. Yeah, they were saying that because it basically this is what this is what it boils down to. I'm known for drawing, you know, pretty women. Um, that's why I get hired because, you know, they that's what I'm kind of known for. But instead of these companies taking the time to research the material that I produce, they just assume that because I'm drawing a pretty woman that I'm sexualizing her, like I'm not giving her power, and that's completely the opposite of the female characters that I do. All of the female characters that I draw are powerful women. They're not victims. They don't just stand around and be victimized. Uh, they're strong leaders, um, and it's a reflection of the way I was brought up because I was raised by my mom, not by my dad. So I don't see women as weak things to be victimized. I see women as strong characters because that's what that's all I've ever seen in women. Um, there we go. So they're they're trying to just lump me into because of my artwork. They're trying to lump me into that same category. Yeah, that's the other thing. When I sent them when my lawyer got a hold of them, and the guy, I got a good friend of mine who's an attorney as well, and he's on my Facebook. So that's kind of an advantage for me because one of my friends is an attorney, and he collects my comic books. So he saw it and took action. I didn't have to do anything. He sent him a nice little letter telling him, basically to cease and desist, or he was going to take him to court because they had no right to take my artwork and slander me. So it was pretty funny. But it's just the nerve of some people that's what I'm saying. They just assumed that because I draw, pretty women that uh, I draw that it's a stereotypical thing, and it's so not the truth. There we go. That's better. I'm the wrong artist to be picking out to say I'm subjecting women to things, uh, you know, whether it be sexual or abusive or whatever, because that's totally not what I do. That's right. I own the copyrights. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to teach you another lesson. If you design something, take the time to copyright it. I copyright everything I design. Everything. It's just as easy as filling out a little form, which you can find on the internet. Copyright Department of the U.S. branch. All you got to do is look up copyright forms, and they'll give you the link to the website. Yeah, I mean it was. You're right. I'm doing art and I'm not abusing it. And that's true statement. Um, most, and here's the thing: most artists, they're not abusive. They're not. Their material's not abusive. Most artists I know, they're not out here, trying to do something perverted or for the wrong reasons. Have you ever heard of the poor man's copyright? Have you ever heard of that? I'll teach you that too. Save you some money. Personally, I don't use it. I used to do it, but now I actually pay the Library of Congress to copyright my stuff. Like this character here is copyrighted. So if anybody decides they want to try to steal, that's why I'm not afraid to show it on like a stream, because I own it. I got papers to prove it. So if somebody wants to try to come along and steal it, I don't mind to sue them. I'll be glad to sue them. No, I'm not. You're right, I'm not. Like I said, I see women in female characters as characters of strength, not weakness. Okay, are you saying sure though about wanting to know what a poor man's copyright is? If you want to know what a poor man's copyright is, I can tell you in just about a minute. Doesn't even take long. It's easy to do. Or anybody else that's listening, if they're interested in knowing what a poor man's copyright is and they don't know, I'll be glad to tell you. If you're an artist, man, don't let people take your ideas and your creations. And I'm firmly behind the fact that if you draw something, you create something, and it's yours, it belongs to you, and you should be allowed to claim it as yours. And I know every method in which to do that, including the poor man's copyright for people that can't afford to pay the $35 to the Library of Congress. You can actually do it without having to do that. And it's just as legal. Holds up in court. And also, you're doing a drawing and base image. Yep, that's true. A poor man's copyright. Okay. Basically, a poor man's copyright works like this. If you design a logo, or you design a new character, or you do an original piece of artwork, now that means you haven't copied somebody else's artwork. Um, if you do an original piece of artwork, all you have to do is make a copy of it, stick it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, take it to the post office, and mail it to yourself. And then don't open it when you get it. If you don't open it, then it's sealed. As long as it is sealed, it will have a post date on it, where the post office stamped it with a date. And that date, and that being sealed up, if somebody comes along and they steal your idea after that, you can take that envelope that you mailed to yourself to the court. And if it goes to court, you can hand that to the judge. If the judge opens it up, pulls out the artwork, and it's the same as the person that stole it, you win because you have a date. That's right. That's a poor man's copyright, and it holds up in court because you have the reason it's legal is because the post office is a government. It's a government institution. So because it's a federal building, see what I'm saying? You've turned it into a federal institution because that's what a post office is. It's a federal. That is legal and binding. Yeah, it's like evidence. Hopefully that helped you. A lot of people don't know you can do that. Uh, some people have heard that you can do that, but they're not. They probably don't believe, because there's been people I've told that to, and they're like, yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't think that was, I didn't think that was legit. Oh yeah, it's legit. And what makes it legit is that the post office is a federal institution. Let me give you another bit of advice a little bit too. Like I said, copyright everything. If you have to do a design for somebody, make a copy of it. If you can't afford to pay, mail it to yourself. And you just hang on to it, because you never know, dude. You never know. Protect yourself first. Always protect your work. Even if you're friends with somebody and you do something for them because you're friends, protect yourself first. As in, where do I live? Is it state or country? You probably can tell where I'm. You can probably pretty much guess where I live, close to where I live at, just because of my accent. That's why even I draw. I have some wallpaper to look at, but I made it that. Yeah, I mean, if you're using a piece of artwork just as a reference, but if you're using a piece of artwork as a reference, then but you make it different, then yeah, you're right. It does belong to you. But if you duplicate somebody else's artwork, like you're just redrawing it just in your style, then you can get sued for that. So long as you change it and make it different, then you're okay. But if you duplicate somebody else's artwork and then you try to here's where it is: if you try to make money off of it, then you can be sued. If you just did it for your own personal portfolio, then they can't do anything to you. But if you're out there making prints or something and you're trying to sell it and make a profit off of it, then they can sue you if it's a duplication. I am actually from Kentucky, basketball capital of the world. I used to live in Cali. I used to live in California when I was in the military. I was stationed in Fort Ord. Fort Ord, California. I loved California. It's a beautiful state. There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Then you're good. You're good to go. But see, you know that. I've seen your artwork, and and like I said, I didn't. It looks like everything you're doing is your own stuff, so I don't think you have that problem. But here's the thing: what's funny is a lot of people think that just because their friend does, some artwork for them or something like that, um, that they own it after that if they're using it because it was done, it's done for them, and that's not true. Uh, the person that owns it is the one that comes up with it. So be careful, man. Don't. If you're anything like me, you probably have a lot of people that live near you or friends around you, probably co-workers and things. They always want you to do stuff for them. Just remember, man, protect your interest. Um, Make sure that you post it somewhere where you can have a date on it, because you never know, man. Friendship, the friendship might get ugly one day, and then they're using your artwork, and then there you go. You're going to want them to not use it anymore. All right, man. If that's fair enough. I always try to give an artist advice to help the artist, not the people that always rip us off. The people always are ripping us off, man. I get tired of it. I get tired of people always taking advantage of us. You know, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? You know, and then you do it, and then what do you get out of it? Nothing but a heartache. So I'm always trying to tell other, give advice to other artists to protect themselves, protect their artwork. Don't let people just take stuff from you. That's why you don't want to. See, yeah, that's a good idea. That's right. There are people that will take something you did and try to. You're right. They'll try to make a name for themselves with something you did. You've heard of the Phantom of the Opera, right? The whole story of the Phantom of the Opera is a perfect example. Do you know why the Phantom of the you do know why he became the Phantom of the Opera, right? What started it? Why he had to cover his face and we all everybody knows that his face got caught on fire, but a lot of people don't remember. They don't remember what it was that he did that caused him to get his face burnt. Phantom of the Opera is the perfect story for all artists to pay attention to. It is a lesson. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I've been having the same issue on my end, so I don't know if it's Twitch or what it is. Could be slow internet today. I don't know. I've been having slow internet issues all day. To cover his identity, um, hang on one second. I am going to go refill my drink, and I'll tell you a little more about what the origin story of the Phantom of the Opera as soon as I get back. It's only going to take me a minute. I'm just going to run in the kitchen and get a drink and come right back. I will be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. See, I told you it wouldn't take very long. Alright, so what we was talking about Phantom of the Opera, right? So basically this is what happens in the Phantom that created the original Phantom of the Opera. Now I'm not talking about these remake versions where they changed the story. But the original Phantom of the Opera story is based on the fact that the guy that is the Phantom of the Opera, that is known as the Phantom of the Opera, writes music. And he was writing music and letting the man in charge of the opera listen to his music. But the guy that was in charge of the opera kept telling him his music wasn't good enough, that he wouldn't use his music. So he kept writing music and kept writing music, trying to get better and better, and kept trying to get the guy that owned the opera to, you know, play his music. But this opera, the owner of this opera, just kept lying to him and kept telling him no, 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 and he just kept doing this for a long time. But really what he was doing was he was secretly stealing his music. He was changing his music and putting his name on it. Or not changing his music. He was taking his music that he was giving him and then writing his name on top of it to say that he was the one that wrote the music. And when the Phantom of the Opera found out what he was doing, he storms into the guy's opera, the back of his opera, whatever, trying to confront the guy, and he ends up knocking stuff over and whatever because he's mad, he's angry, and he's just tearing, just throwing things around. He ends up causing it to burst into fire, and he gets burned in the process, and hence the mask, and the next thing you know, the Phantom of the Opera is born. But it was because of his music being stolen and another man taking credit for his work. So from that moment on, he stopped doing that. But that's the way artists still continue to get done to this day. People always try to take things that aren't theirs from artists. It happens all the time. It's unfortunate that it happens, but it does happen. So this is why I always say, no matter what it is, you protect yourself first and foremost, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you never have an issue and you never have to go to court over anything, great. But if you ever have to, you're going to wish you had protected your art. My chair keeps scooting down. It's on my nerves. But yep, that's what the Phantom of the Opera is all about. Is an artist who wrote music, and his music was getting stolen from him by a man who ran an opera and who was taking his name off and putting his name on it. And can you imagine having somebody do that to your artwork, taking your name off and putting their name on it, and then saying, "Hey, I gave you $1 for that, and so it's mine. I can put my name on it if I want to." Can you imagine being told that? Well, I'd be mad. Yeah, this one will be finished. I will have this one actually finished before I end the stream. I'm actually going to finish this on stream, like I did the last piece. Yep. It's the way of the world, ain't it? The people without the talent are the ones that steal from the people that do. That's pretty much the way of the world, to be honest. Okay, yeah, let me know if that works, man. I'm kind of curious to know if that actually works on the Vita. I've never had anybody actually try that I know of. Got disconnected. Is it not up? Man, I hope it's not dropping again today like it was doing yesterday. Nope, it's still up. So is the stream completely dropping on you, like you can't see anything, or is it just buffering really bad? Because I was having buffering issues earlier trying to watch the stream. Okay, so it keeps buffering. Yeah, I had that problem when I was trying to watch a stream today too. Are you on your PC now, Daniel? Is it working okay now? Sorry I haven't been on the PlayStation 4, but you see what I'm doing. This is it. I am, and I think you know why, because you know what month it is. Welcome, Brenda. How are you? Welcome to the stream. And welcome to the stream, Daniel. Glad you're back. Ahoy, Brenda. Ahoy. Yes, Brenda, I'm listening. Can you not hear me? Oh, while you're answering a question. Never mind. Is the video showing up on your phone, Daniel? Aw, thank you, Brenda. I don't know how true that is, but thank you anyway. Have you seen any of the page, Brenda, or did you get in here after I've done zoomed in where you can't tell what's going on? It's probably just a bunch of lines right now for you. What's up, Josh? So you can't see anything, Brenda? Oh, that sucks. Daniel, I appreciate it, man. I really do. I'm glad you're in here when I'm working, man. It's a good way for me and you to talk. Because I've been pretty much glued to this thing. I've been putting in the hours here, man. But I promise you, as soon as I get this, you know, I just got some things I want to get, and the only way I'm going to get it is to crank out a bunch of pages. Okay, Brenda, are you going to get on your laptop now or later? Because I will wait to really pan out much till you get. Here you go, Josh. That's the page I'm working on now. I'll let you guys look at that for a minute while I save and take a drink. I made a mistake yesterday. Didn't have enough to drink. Or not yesterday, but the day before. Yeah, I've been... I've either been getting your messages too late on Facebook, and you guys are already offline, or B, I just wasn't able to get on and play because I've been doing this. You know, it's the girly month, you know, so I got to do the Valentine's Day thing. So I'm trying to crank out as much work as I can. You know what I mean? Can you see it, Josh? Are you able to see what I'm doing here? Oh my God, it's Vobard. Welcome to the stream, Vobard. Man, it's good to have you here, buddy. So you can see it, Brenda? You can see it just fine? I'll try for sure, but that's been the reason why I haven't been able to, is strictly because I've been working. That's the only reason. Okay, I'll talk to you when you get back. And be careful, Daniel. Don't get out there and let somebody do something stupid to you. Okay, Psycho. I'm looking forward to seeing it, buddy. So when you get it done, if I'm not, as soon as I'm not working and stuff, I will jump over there and I will check it out. Hey, Brenda, did you get to see the page before this one? Because the last time you were in here, I was working on the page before she uh, goes into the water. If you can remember that one, she's was on her way down into the chamber, the purification chamber, the ritual chamber to become Talon. And I did the page after that one, where she's in the water, purifying her, getting ready to purify herself. This is where she's actually doing it. She's actually sinking under the water. Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime you ever post anything and you see me online and in a chat or here, just tell me, man. And as soon as I get first opportunities to check your stuff out, I'll I will, man. I'll jump over and take a look at it. I'm always up to looking at other people's artwork. Quit messing around. There we go. All right, let's back out and take a look. Hmm. All right. So how is everybody? Is everybody doing okay? Hopefully everybody's having a decent day. It seems that a few people that's dropped in is not having such a good day today. But hopefully you guys are. Just great, awesome. Glad to hear that, Vobart. Glad to hear that. Yeah. Oh, hi, Titch. How are you? How are you? Is the question. I'm good. I'm tired, a little bit tired, but it's been a long day. Uh, it's like I was explaining a little earlier. I had there was things I wanted to get done today that I wasn't able to get done, and things I didn't want to do that I ended up having to do today. And I decided that to put myself in a better mood, I was going to draw, which I was going to do anyways, but I decided I was going to draw a little sooner than I was planning. And I thought, well, what the heck, if I'm going to be drawing, I might as well stream, because it seems that some of you and actually truly do enjoy watching this. Not sure exactly why, but I still appreciate it. Yeah, I think we are, Titch. How are you feeling? Because the question is not how I'm feeling. I'm not the one that was sick yesterday. I heard. I hope. I hope Sid let you know that I was sending you prayers, and you know, told him to tell you you were in my thoughts. So I hope he did, because I did tell him to let you know. I was worried about you yesterday. I know this page probably isn't as exciting as the other one, but hey, you know what? It's got to be done. It's got to be told. This is part of the story, and I hope the layout is fairly interesting, considering that all she's doing is sinking in the water. That's it. That's what this whole scene is her sinking in the water. And I hope this added some interest to that boring scenario. A master. No, I don't quite think. See, now you got me all at a loss of words. I'm far from being a master. I do enjoy doing this, and but how good I am, that's debatable. But I do enjoy the fact that you are enjoying it, which means something to me. That's funny because I had a migraine yesterday too. That's why I didn't stream yesterday. I was having such a bad headache, plus I had so much going on yesterday. And then it continued into today. Not only do we repeat the same sentences and say the same things, but it seems like we always have migraines on the same day. What is going on? That's right, we are. Thanks, Volmart. I appreciate that. You know, you were explaining to me about what you do for a living, and I was really fascinated with what you do. I was even telling Titch and Sid and them and Caslin about, you were talking about what you do for a living, and I was just like really blown away by what you do, because that's fascinating to me, because it's I don't do it, so I'm always trying to learn other things. And just hearing you talk about, the power of that machinery and stuff that you use, it just was blowing my mind. So I'm glad that you're able to see what I do for a living, because this is what I do for a living. Might not be as exciting as what you do, near as dangerous, but it's definitely not near as dangerous, because I get to work from home, so I'm not out there doing that, you know, dangerous work you do. So kudos to you, buddy. That could be it. Kind of like this for some reason. I feel like I'm yelling into the mic because I can't hear over this music. Gotta take it off my ear. So I heard Sid's got stuck at work again today. I told him, I said, I think they're making him pay for that vacation he took. I think they're I think they're doing it on purpose. Take a vacation on us, will you? Well, now we'll work you, 18 hours a day every day for the next 6 months. So I didn't stream yesterday because I had a migraine, and just no offense to people or and all of you guys, but I just really was. I didn't know that if I could be on stream and be talking to people, you know, because the migraine was so bad that I literally was squinting, but I worked on the another page yesterday and got another page done with a migraine, but I should have streamed it, but I just didn't. My head was hurting so bad. I didn't want it to show on stream, so I just didn't stream it. But I did finish it. If you guys are interested in seeing the page in between this one and the one you guys saw 2 days ago that I finished, where she's going down into that cavern and getting ready to get into the water. I've actually have the next scene where she's in the water, and then this page is her, where she's going through the process of being basically reborn. She's sinking, to the bottom of the water, and then she's coming back up. That's what this is. It's that scene where she's. I barely could. I was staggering down the hallways, but I had to get I had to get the work done. Migraine or not, it I had to do it. I played a little bit of catch up. I kind of fell behind, so and it's hitting me in my pocketbook. So I've got to get back. I've got to get back to getting my work done. Oh, you'd like to? Okay, hang on. Let me save this real quick. I was waiting for Brenda to see if she was here. I was going to show her too, because she saw the. All right, hang on, guys. Get kind of get everybody an update that's been keeping up with the last several pages. All right, I'm going to show you the page that I think you saw last, and let me know if this is the page you saw last. No, not really. I wish I could wear sunglasses, but that I know, like Sid and them tease me and stuff because I never have a light on in here, but that's why I don't have a light on in here. I mean, it gets really hot, plus where I'm on this computer working, and then you add that extra bright light in here, it gives me migraines really quick. So I leave the overhead lights off because I'm literally drawing when I'm working on a page 14 to 16 hours sometimes a day, and with that light on plus the monitor, oh man, it's just my eyes just they can only take so much. I believe this is the last page you guys saw, correct? I'm not sure, just let me know. This is what I was making jokes about, drawing all the leaves, the 6 billion leaves. Teasing Kaz and Sid with. Okay, well, I'll show you the next one. And hopefully, I was saying this earlier, I hope I have nobody in my that is easily offended because they're getting ready to see a cartoon butt. That's what you're going to see, a butt shot. But if that is offensive, then I don't know what I'm not going to apologize to if it offends anybody. But at the same token, um, it's just anybody that's in here that is easily offended by stuff like that. You might want to look away, just long enough for the. If you get upset by cartoon butts, I'm sorry that you get that easily offended. That's one thing you'll never get from me, is apologizing for my artwork. If it offends you, then you just have to. They have to deal with it. I'm not going to apologize for it. You might. You might. It just depends. And there's the next page. Like I said, I didn't post it on my Facebook because I have kids that get on my Facebook page and they don't need to be seeing it, but adults, they just had to get over it, you know what I mean? If they get offended by it, too bad. Take it somewhere else, because I'm not going to listen to it. It's art. See the scars? See the battle scars on her? She's been through some stuff, but she ain't been through nothing compared to what she's. This is her when she's about 17 or 18 years old. So she's got a few scars from her training, but nothing like the scars you're going to see in the later, like the next few pages where she's 24 years old and she's been through so many battles. She's pretty scarred up. Are you telling me that on this whole page of everything that's on there, Titch, you noticed the feathers? You kill me. All right, now you guys seen that long enough, I think. Even Bobart should have had plenty of time to do what he needed to do. And we will get back. And this is the page after that where she's actually sinking. Thanks, Titch. That's what I was hoping for. I mean, I know it's a little revealing, but I was really trying to go and imagine, like I said, you can imagine that sunlight coming down, or the moonlight coming down, because it's a moon. You can imagine that moonlight coming down and hitting that water, with them bright blue, kind of bluish colors, and the sparkles coming up, and a little, like, it looks mystical, and then her standing there and in that pose. That's kind of what I was hoping it would come off as, more than anything else. The wings took me, I don't know, good question. About 45 minutes, I think, maybe an hour. Something like that. I mean, it wasn't too, I mean, I've drawn birds so much that it was pretty quick, but I think it took me about an hour, something like that. It would take you days. Yeah, it probably would. I'd say it probably would. But I'm getting, I'm pretty proud. I'm pretty proud of this book. I really like where it's going. And here's the thing, Titch and Nina and or Brenda and who any other ladies that are in the stream. I'm really, really, really hoping that this connects with ladies, with women, because this story is very important to me in empowering women, and also showing not only you know strength but beauty as well. Because to me, that's exactly what I see. And I was talking about this earlier about, I was raised by my mom. I wasn't raised by my dad. That's a long story, but my dad was not a part of my growing up. My mom was, so I've always seen women as the central, you know, strength in my life. So, and I'm hoping that comes across in this book, and not just another cheesy, trashy um, female, book with a woman in it. That's not what I want this to be, and I'm really hoping this connects with the female audience, because it's a pretty empowering story. Come on. So far, what you told me about Talon, she's strong. Yeah, yeah, um, she's extremely disciplined. Um, I'll put it to you this way: you know how in most comics, the hero is usually the male. He's usually the one that has to go through all the rigorous training. He's the one that has to save the world. He's the one, all of those things that, growing up, that's pretty much who the stories were about, was male characters doing all those things. And see, in my world, that was not the case. In my world, the real world, um, the strength came from my mom. Um, so I never really saw the male as the hero. I always saw the female as the hero. One of the stories that fascinates me the most is Joan of Arc's story. So I kind of combined Joan of Arc's story with my mom, and now you have Talonborn. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is, yeah, but Wonder Woman is stereotypical female character. It's being done more now than it has been, but Wonder Woman is still an Amazon. She's still a sexual role model. She's got she's basically got those powers that she's got, but she's still considered an Amazon beauty, some a princess that becomes this Amazon queen. Um, she's still put out there, uh, kind of in a stereotypical way. I mean, let's be honest, she's got the long, dark black hair. She's an Amazon. She's tall. She's got the small waist, the big breasts, the typical comic book female, big breasts, small waist, tall, long legs, the whole 9 yards. Talon does not, she's not heavily endowed at all. Um, she's muscular, which is something Wonder Woman is not. Uh, she's fit. Like, she looks like a bodybuilder. She's small chested, so she doesn't have the typical breasts, that are like way out here and all the stuff I can't stand. The stereotypical female characters. Oh, don't get me wrong, Bobart. Look, I appreciate Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is the female version of Superman. That's what she is. Um, the whole point of creating Wonder Woman was to give young girls a hero that they could look up to. So they basically took Superman and created Wonder Woman. That's what she is. Um, the the lasso of truth. Superman tells no lies. She can fly. Superman can fly. She has super strength. He has super strength. I mean, there's so many similarities, But Wonder Woman is the female equivalent or the version of Superman. Because there wasn't a Supergirl at the time. And that's what they did. They created Wonder Woman to be, a hero for young girls to look up to. And for that reason, I respect the character. But she's still stereotypical in the sense that she's big-breasted. Her story didn't really come out until years later, about her being uh, a trained warrior. Because when she was first created, she was just, a princess from from like an Amazon princess. That's what she was. Her story developed over the years as more and more women demanded that her character be more than some big busted Amazon character. But Talon is a warrior. She's not a princess. Big difference. She's not your little feebly little princess that, is granted superpowers. Talon is by all rights a warrior. The first female in this world to be a Talon warrior. It's usually always been men. Oh yeah, Superman's Superman, man. He's the man. He can have as many girlfriends as he wants. Hello, Pony Ape Hands. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it out, man. Hopefully I won't bore you to death. Doing some artwork for my graphic novel. Got a spider crawling up my leg. Working on some pages. How are you doing tonight, Pony? Today, tonight, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Could be daytime. Trying to shade underneath these fingers. I don't have time to jump through the roof. Hey man, you're more welcome to jump in the chat. I'm glad you're here, bud. Appreciate you coming out, Pony. So what got you in the conversation? Was it our Wonder Woman, talking about Wonder Woman, or is it talking about uh, Warriors, Superman? Any of that? Was that any of that the cause of it? Man, I tell you, we have some crazy conversations in here. We really do. I never know what these guys are going to say. Man, Vobart, don't tell her that. She'll look. Oh, don't like that either. All right, I gotta. What's up, Panther? Oh man, I love the name, man. Black Panther. Is that? Is that? Are you a fan of the comic book Black Panther? Because that's awesome, dude. Always been a fan of his. I know, man. We need to finish that game. It was the Superman Wonder Woman conversation. Feel free, man. If that's something you're interested in, man, just go ahead and throw your ideas out there, man. We love to hear them. I encourage it. I encourage any, especially if it's of a different point of view. I'm definitely encourage that. And the NFL, man, I like you already, man. Already. I'm assuming that's the Carolina Panthers. And fan of the NFL and a fan of the same. I'm a huge NFL fan, as well as comic books. So me and you will get along great. But Volbart, just to be honest, as cool as Wonder Woman is, she couldn't stand a chance against this character. And I'm not saying it because I created her. I'm saying it because Wonder Woman does have her limitations and things, and she's as far as being a warrior. She can't touch Talon. Uh, hey man, appreciate the follow. I wish I had a follow alert so I would know who's following me and who's not following me. But I don't have one, so I'm glad you told me so I can, actually thank you for the follow. And if anybody else is in the chat that's followed, I apologize for not telling you if you did follow the channel. I don't think about telling people to follow or not follow. I draw and I talk. That's what I do. I say some crazy things sometimes, and I say some things that sometimes make sense, but most of the time I don't. Most of the time I just like to talk to people. Pass the time while I'm drawing, working on the book. So, are you a Panthers fan in general, or are you a Cam Newton fan specifically? I mean, is that why you like the Panthers, or is it the team? Are you a team guy or a player guy? See, Volvart, that's what I'm saying. As tough as Wonder Woman is, she don't have any battle scars, so she can't. She doesn't. She's not ever really been tested for her strength and endurance because she doesn't. She throws her lasso out and dodges all the bullets. With her ridiculous, unrealistic, faster than a bullet wrist speed with her. I want to know what those bands are made out of that they can block bullets. And then the lasso of truth. What is that? What is a see all that stuff? Talon picks up a sword, dude, and she's coming at you, and it's either going to be you or her, and she's usually going to win because she doesn't quit fighting. What's up, Bandana King? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. We're just talking. We're talking a little silly right now. I'm just messing with Bobart. We're talking about the woman and character I'm working on here for my upcoming graphic novel. I'm working on. It's supposed to come out. I'm trying to get all these pages done, man, so I can have it out this summer. So. Wrote it, poop. Man, I don't know what to tell you. I believe I'd be trying to get rid of it as quickly as possible. Been a fan since '95. Born and raised in cool, man. So you're a hometown team kind of guy. That's awesome. Adamantium. Adamantium is a Marvel Comics thing. That's Wolverine. Adamantium does not exist in DC, so I would assume that's what it would have been too, but since they're like two different companies, they can't use Adamantium in DC, so back to square one, trying to figure out what her bracelets are made out of. I don't know. They must be magical or something. I don't. It still doesn't explain how she can, just with the flick of her wrist, block these bullets. Alright, we got a couple more cigars we gotta add. I know you was. I was just playing along. Just playing along, trying to keep going. Keep the debate going. Alright, so the arm's going that way, so Scar's gonna go this way. Shot time, Bobart, shot time. Oh, Titch, you went and Googled it. You cheated. You cheated. You beat me to it, Bobart. I was getting ready to ask that same question. How do you melt indestructible metal? That's pretty much true, Titch. Man, we got all kinds of good conversations going. We got debate over the metal on Wonder Woman's bracelets. We got rodent poop. We got uh, Black Panther and the NFL and Carolina Panthers. Welcome back, Psycho. Welcome back. Glad you're back, bud. Glad you're back. And he comes back with Superman's laser vision. Top that. Nope, I don't like it there. Oops. That wasn't good, was it? Well, that's cool, man. You're drawing while I'm drawing. Hopefully you find a little inspiration from this. Ooh, that's a little bit too far out. What am I doing? I must be drunk. I'm drinking citrus drink, but must be something in it. So, Black Panther, did you watch the? I believe that's the original. I believe that Black Panther. I believe that's the original origin. Yeah, I think you're right. But like I said, Wonder Woman's story. Wonder Woman's story kind of got modified a few times, like a lot of characters do. So they took a little piece from this origin, a little piece from that origin, and they just now I don't even really know what her origin is. They just kind of threw it all like in a blender, and now it's kind of a mixed mash of two or three different origins. And but I do know that the original creators of Wonder Woman, I do know that they didn't have any explanation as to her powers and why they could do what they did. They simply wanted to create a female character that the girl audience could relate to. Girls could relate to Wonder Woman like guys related to Superman. So they didn't even think about it beyond that point. So after they create Wonder Woman, then all of a sudden people get interested in the character, and now they're running around. Oh God, we got to come up with all these ideas. Let's see. She's got a lasso that makes people tell the truth. She's got. She can fly. Then she can't fly. Now she has to fly around in an invisible jet, which I never could understand that whole thing. Why would you want to fly around in an invisible jet? You know, there you are flying through the sky. This hot chick flying through the sky that's like almost 7 foot tall in the sitting position. looking like she's taking a dump on the whole world because you can't see her jet. All you would see is her looking like she's taking a big squat. I never could understand that logic. Yeah, man, no kidding. Batman is, Batman's character made sense from day one. He's probably got one of the best origin stories. I'll be honest with you. Batman's probably got one of the best origin stories in comics. It's at least realistic. His parents got murdered. And then he becomes a vigilante, and then becomes the city's hero. But people can relate to that. What people cannot relate to is some 7-foot tall woman from some fictional place, and with these unknown origins and unknown powers. It's kind of silly. At least Batman's grounded in some reality. I mean, I know comic books aren't real, but if you're going to write about it, at least it should be grounded in some reality so people can relate to it. It's not just like, huh? Wonder Woman's character never made any sense to me, along with a lot of other heroes. She's not the only one, but... Alright, so what am I going to do here? Alright, we need to go up here and start working on this one. Spider-Man is great. Spider-Man also has a really interesting story, and the fact that he's got real life problems. That makes him more appealing to people too, because he has real life problems. I mean, think about it, Titch. I know you're laughing, but think about it. Just think, there you are in Florida, right? You got through streaming. You going to get yourself a cup of coffee. Going to go mind your own business. You grab a slice of pizza. And you decide to take a stroll outside, get a little air, There you are. You're standing out in your backyard, and you look up in the sky, and there's this 7-foot tall woman just sitting there, just moving across in this squatting position. You going to tell me that you wouldn't be like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, you're not gonna tell me that's not gonna freak you out. You're like, what is she doing? Just going across the sky? You can't see no jet? Just that would freak you out. You'd be like, what is going on here, man? If it was me, I'd be like all these people that go around shooting videos of UFOs in the sky. I'd be putting that on film. Get the camera! We got to videotape this. Oh, I totally agree, Bobart. He is a hero. That's what I was saying. He's a hero to the city of Gotham, not a superhero. That's right. What do if it was me, Titch, I'd be thinking, what'd she do? She poop in my yard, now she's trying to get away? What the heck? And what is the Titch, and here's another thing. What is the purpose of an invisible jet anyway, if she's not invisible too? Somebody, can you imagine? That's one of those meetings, one of those creative meetings I'd have loved to have been at when they were sitting at the big table at DC and they said, "Hey, you know what we need to do for Wonder Woman? What's that? What we need to do is we need to give her a jet because people don't like her flying. It's too much like Superman. Okay, so we're not going to have her fly no more. No, we're going to do away with that. That's a silly idea. So what's the new idea? Here's what I'm thinking. We can give her an invisible jet, but she won't be invisible in it. Just the jet. Oh, that's great. Write it up." I'd have probably laughed so hard if I'd have been in that meeting, they'd have probably fired me. I'd have been like, "That's the stupidest idea I ever heard in my life. You must have had the jelly donuts this morning and got a sugar rush, because that's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life." Invisible to radar? You may be right, but that makes no sense. The jet don't have to be invisible to be invisible.